Yes, so we are living in a new world of LGBT. It is your right to decide to be a lesbian. It is your right to decide to be a homosexual. It is your right to decide to be gay. It is your right to decide to be bisexual. It is your right to decide which sexuality you want. And when you choose what you want to do, it is your opinion. Irrespective of people's ideas about you, if they are positive, well and good. If they're negative, it is up to them because you feel it is right for you. So we are living in a new world of LGBT. You find that we have LGBT communities everywhere in all parts of the world at the moment, and we have support by the several organizations. We have support by several powerful countries promoting LGBT, and they have faced challenges majorly with African countries. African countries are not willing to accept this because the most famous country in Africa that we had to legalize it was South Africa, where they legalized you can be homosexual, you can be a lesbian, you can be a bisexual. It is your right. It is in South Africa where they also removed adultery as a penalty. If adultery is no longer crime there. So it is just a matter that organizations are trying to push in for people's right all over the world. They want each person to do what is right for himself, not for all people. But when you do what is right for yourself and people turn negativity towards it, ignore them. If people turn positive towards you, yeah, well and good. So me particularly, I don't have any problem with LGBT because it is somebody's opinion to follow his or her heart. Me, I don't see any problem with somebody going with his opinion because we have been having a push by the United States, especially to African states, to legalize homosexuality, and most of the countries are still hesitant to do it. So for them, they believe that it is people's rights to belong to the sexuality that you prefer, and yeah, that is it. Because we have had people who are homosexuals, they're happy about it. We have had people who are lesbians, they're happy about it. Then for those who do not prefer those ones, they're also happy about the ones they do. So if you go to the United States, LGBT is legalized in all the 50 states. If you go to Europe, most of the countries in Europe, it is legal. If you go to China, the same. Most of the powerful countries whereby they feel people have to live what makes them live with what makes them happy, to follow their rights in order to avoid being oppressed all the time. So you find that in Africa it is a contrary. Most African countries do not support LGBT. In other countries it is even a death penalty. You see that. So if you flash back on an interview one time with the Ugandan president, that is His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, he had to tell the Europeans that if you want to cut your aid, you can do it, but for us in Uganda, we do not accept homosexuality. We are following our African culture that we understand. We are following our African culture that we feel is right for us. If we are wrong, we shall realize by ourselves, and then we shall correct ourselves. That is what the Ugandan president had to say. One time, the Ugandan pop star Bobby Wine had to talk against homosexuality, and he was sanctioned. He was banned from traveling to Europe until he later on had to reverse his idea about homosexuality, and he was allowed. Then we also had the president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, the former president of Zimbabwe, the late Robert Mugabe, who also refused homosexuality in his country, and the sanctions were put against his country, and Zimbabwe had to suffer so much because the world is trying to push for a new world of LGBT, whereby all countries are speaking similar attitudes. All countries are having similar attitudes towards the thing, and they don't have differences among people like that. So that one had to bring problems a lot for Zimbabwe, because Mugabe said he would never accept it into his country. And What is your opinion about LGBT? For me particularly, I do not have any problem with. I can have a friend who is a gay. I can have a friend who is a lesbian. It is their opinion to become such. But me, I cannot be one of them, and yet I have friends who do such. Yes, because if you try to talk against each things, you'll find that you will lack friends. Yes, you will lack friends. You will lack people to help you in times of trouble. So it is your opinion to do what you feel is right for yourself. If being a gay is right for you, go ahead. If being a lesbian is right for you, go ahead. But if you feel it is not right for you, then it is up to you to take what makes you happy. Yes, but that is the truth. We are living in a new world of LGBT, whereby you are free to exercise your rights. We have had cases whereby some celebrities have come out to talk about their sexuality. I'm a homosexual and they have no problem with it. I'm a lesbian, they have no problem with it. So it is your decision to do whatever pleases you. That is the new world we are living in. So the only challenges now come from especially Africa and then the Arab nations. They do not support it, and most of them do not support that. It is illegal in most Arab countries and then African countries. But in the European countries and the United States, it seems now they have the LGBT communities have free rights to enjoy whatever they wish. What is your opinion about LGBT? Do you support it? Don't you support it? Because if you support it, well and good, you are moving hand in hand with what the world is pushing for. But if you don't support it, it means you will have to be confidential about yourself sometimes, because the world is pushing for one voice. The world is pushing for the same order, where everybody talks about the same thing and they have similar attitudes, which is positive, not even negative. So that's why now if you in other countries which legalize such activities, you don't have to be criticizing it, because you are putting the life of those who are you are threatening the life of those who are doing it. They will feel sometimes not. They will feel uneasy if you talk against their sexuality. They will become aggressive. They can even fight with you because they are not happy to see your criticism against what they are doing. It is your opinion to choose what is right for you. So, as we are living in that new world, accept the sexuality that you have chosen, and if you accept the sexuality you have chosen, do not criticize each other. If you are gay, it is your opinion to be a gay. People who are not gays should not criticize somebody who is a gay. They shouldn't, because that person is the one who has decided to do that. Yes. If you are a lesbian, you have decided to do so, and it is your right. People who are not lesbians should not criticize you. If they feel you are wrong, let them keep quiet with it, because if they talk it out, it will make your life hard. You will find that your life is hard. You will become aggressive. You will become annoyed with several people. But the truth is, that is the world we are living in. Accept it the way it is, because even if you don't accept it, the world has already pushed for it. So what can you do? It is upon your opinion, because they don't force you actually. You are not forced. No country will come and force you that be a homosexual, be a gay. No, they don't. It is your right to choose it to be. So since it is your right, they don't force anyone. You are right to choose whatever you wish. Then it's okay. It would only be hard if it was a force, because there are some people who don't feel good that way. Yeah. So that is a new world we are living in. Yes? Yes. Accept it the way it is. A new world of LGBT. There is nothing else you can. There's nothing else you can bring in to turn it back. That let us go back to the old world. The world has changed, and we have to change it with the world. Because even if we don't change with the world, forcefully you will have to. That is a new world. You understand? Yes. So I want to tell you, who has been criticizing the gay people, you have been criticizing the lesbian. Me, I'm not one of them, but I do not have any problem with them. I do support their move, because it is what makes them happy. what makes them happy. Why should you go against what makes somebody happy? Even me, I do what makes me happy. For me, I'm attracted to a female, yes, and that is mine. So if I want, I go for a female, yes. But for somebody who is attracted to a fellow man, that is what they want. Let them go ahead. Somebody who is attracted to a fellow man, that is what they want. Let them go ahead. It is their right to choose what is good for them. You understand? That is the new world. Believe it or leave it, we are in a new world.